Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the On Second Thought Sports Show on the Mental Conditioning Podcast. We have, unfortunately, missed out on a few weeks. We had some, as you can see, we're in a little bit of a different location. We have been here before, but we kind of have to settle in a little bit here. We had an unfortunate mishap in the mental conditioning gym, our normal studio, our normal boxing ring that we get it on. And we're still working on getting that. Well, it's not something that we did. We just had some problems in the building. So we're working on getting all of that stuff straightened out. But you know what? We have to continue on. And we have to continue on with the mission. We have to continue on with the discussion. I know I've been chomping at the bit to get back at it. We're going to have some exciting shows coming up in the very near future. We got a lot of information, a lot of ground to cover. We're going to have to break it up the best way we can. But let's get to it right away. I am Elliot Allen.
Isaiah.
Aaron.
So we got a lot of stuff on the table. We just was before we came on, like, man, what we gonna tackle first? I figured we kind of break it up and break it down into different categories and just really get into information and slow myself down and really just kind of dig into what we got. A lot going on in sports, a lot going on in, believe it or not, it's the off season, but I think it's been a pretty good off season thus far in basketball. Quite a bit of moving around. We had another mishap, as now that I think about it. We were on draft night. Unfortunately, I don't think that show aired because we had a major mishap with the camera right in the middle of the draft. So I don't even think that show actually aired. We may actually just put that on.
It made like 30 minutes or 40 minutes that I recorded before the camera just died.
Yeah, so we might actually put that on just to kind of show you guys.
Is that the same show the camera fell to?
Yes, so
that's a bad show. The camera fell.
So as I'm thinking about it, we might just kind of put that on just to kind of show you how, things happen and be kind of like a blooper show because we were doing pretty good. It was an interesting draft night, so that's a good indication as to when we know the last time, unfortunately, we were able to get on. So, but we're here today. We want to cover that. We're probably not going to get to that today because we're right in the middle of the biggest fight of the year getting ready to come up in boxing. So I figured, you know what? Let's stay in the groove right there. We got a few things to cover. We can go backwards and catch up, but I think we're going to stay current. And we're going to get right into the big fight of the year that's coming up. We will, all three of us, along with my lovely wife, we will actually be in Las Vegas in attendance. It's going to be the first time the boys are going to be going down to Las Vegas, but we will be there. We're going to be at the Box Fan Expo. We will have a booth there. We're going to be selling the book, 12 Rounds of Mental Conditioning, Us Against Life, as well as we're going to be selling the membership to our mental conditioning gym portal where we do mindset work. We'll get into all of that later, but we will be there. So if you watch our show, come over to the booth and say hello. We will be in the building. They had some confirmations about who's going to be there. I know yesterday I was told Riddick Bowe's going to be there. That's just the latest one that I know. I know Sean Porter's going to be there. He's everywhere. But they got a good roster. I'll get that to you. Get that out to you guys about exactly who all is going to be there. But we were there last year. We were next to Roy Jones Jr. We were next to Top Rank. We were across from Lennox Lewis. We were there. Fernando Vargas and his team was there. The great Roberto Duran was there. So it was a tremendous turnout. Shout out to Alonzo who runs that. And he's really taking care of us last year. He's taking care of us this year, just leading up into it. He's been a great friend of the show, a friend of the movement. So we want to say thank you for all your support and all the things that we do. And we will continue to support him in the Box Fan Expo. But let's get to the meat of the order of why we're going to be down there. And that's going to be Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. So is anybody, wavering on that? It's been a while. We kind of danced around it. We'll probably get some more shows in here. We got a few guys, like the boys barber, Mr. Barrington White. Has very, very strong feelings about it. We'll probably get him down here to start running his mouth about Canelo and about Bud and what he thinks Bud's going to do. He's a little delusional, I think, about some of the things that he thinks is going to happen. But he could be right. We get him down here. I don't want to put words in his mouth. We'll get him here. But what do you guys take on it as we draw closer? Aaron, you can go first.
I'm a Canelo guy, so I'm always going to be with Canelo regardless of the fact. I still don't think either way, if I wasn't a Canelo guy, I still think I would be with Canelo. I don't think, Crawford's good, but I don't think he's this good to make such a dramatic change and to just not expect to get knocked out, in my opinion. I feel like he's going to get laid out, like maybe round 8.
Wow.
I mean, that's a pretty bold statement to say a knockout, but I like that. We're going to be live in the building, so, I'm going to be at the sports book, and I'm placing a bet. Isaiah?
I definitely got Canelo too. Crawford is a phenomenal fighter, but for him to jump as many weight divisions as he did and immediately trying to take down the top guy, no way. He definitely had to at least done a tune-up fight to, get a feel. I'm sure he's sparring a lot, but, I think he definitely needed a tune-up fight to, handle that pressure that, these heavyweights are putting against their opponents. Canelo's fast, smart, I really don't see Crawford being able to take him down.
Yeah, so, I feel like, I don't want to go against the grain. Keep in my opinion, I am leaning also towards Canelo Alvarez, simply because the same thing the boys are saying. I just feel like, the weight is just something that you can't ignore. To play devil's advocate, I felt this way going into the fight with Errol Spence. I thought that, Errol Spence was the bigger man. But one of the things, this guy really, he talks a lot, and I don't know. It's Timothy Bradley, and Timothy Bradley's a huge Bud Crawford guy. But he talks about, the strength of Bud Crawford, and he's some sort of a secret weapon. I think the secret weapon that he's talking about is that, I know that Crawford is actually, at one point, was a wrestler. So he does have freakish type of strength. I believe he's definitely stronger than a natural 147-pound fighter. It's just that we're talking about 3 weight classes. And I just think that, not to say that if he did it properly, he took his time and grew into the 168-pound weight division, I think he definitely could do it. I think you saw a few clips of him or shots of him. Aaron, you saw it. A few clips of Terrence Crawford at this weight. But you never really know until they're in the ring. He looks like he's bigger and all of that.
For sure.
But the problem is just, again, your body just has to be different. You know what I mean? There's just no way around it. Your speed is, in my opinion, has to be compromised. The ability to throw, 4, 5, 6 punch combinations where you could do that at a lighter weight, your arm just kind of drops down, no problem. I feel like, for sure, that's definitely just something that, and not to say that if you do it properly, eventually you'll get to that point, but just as Isaiah said, to do that coming from one fight, to be able to just snap into that, I just think it's going to be very, very difficult to do. Stamina-wise, I just think it's going to be difficult to do. Again, not to say that he can't do it, but to do it under these circumstances, under these lights of fighting, as the boys are saying, obviously the top dog. Canelo is the top dog out there, and he's still very, very effective. To do it under this pressure, I think is just going to be a tough order. So, but let's put it this way: if Bud Crawford, and this is something I'd like to talk to, speak to as well. If Bud Crawford does win this fight, where does that put Bud Crawford in your eyes in terms of, his status of, obviously, I guess we would have to say he's the best fighter in the world currently. Does it really change how you look about his whole career and where you kind of place him with what you guys know about boxing? Does that change? Would that change?
Absolutely not. I think he himself said, or somebody else said, if he beats Canelo, he has to be considered one of the greatest of all time. Don't get me, he is one of the greatest of all time. He's definitely high up there in the rankings, but I wouldn't put him that high. I don't know. I really need to look at the list of boxers, but just ballparking it in my head, do you have him in the top 20? There's a lot of phenomenal boxers out there. So I definitely don't think that he's gonna jump up to like a top 10 spot, top 5 spot like some of these guys are saying. Other than Canelo, Spence, Sean Porter, I really don't remember anybody else he's fought. And I know he gets mad when he says it, but it's true.
Yes,
it's true.
Aaron?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, his resume isn't the best. I mean, he fought Errol Spence, not to be an excuse, but after the car accident, not even an excuse. We all know Spence just wasn't really the same after that. And who else? Porter.
Well,
Porter was a good fight.
Porter, he's a good fighter, obviously, but I think he was expected to win that. That wasn't like anything. I don't think people were like. I don't think people were really debating on this. I think Canelo is really his first, like, true test, because although there's not too many fights that, like, when you're that good, there's not a lot of fights that you can pick that'll kind of like have people going 50-50 with it. But in my opinion, it doesn't really change. It doesn't make him the greatest boxer, in my opinion. I feel like, for example, like wherever you have a boxer like Andre Ward, I feel like that like he's lower. Interesting. Wherever you have Ward, I feel like he should be lower than that.
Terrence Crawford should be lower than Andre Ward.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. Excellent point, Aaron. And it's funny because I literally was thinking about Andre Ward the other day and about his legacy. And again, both of you guys, really good points. I love doing this show. Really good points. These guys are on point. And like Isaiah said, I know Crawford gets pissed about it, but I have to say, and I'm not being biased, because I don't dislike Terrence Crawford. I am an Errol Spence guy, but I'm not one of the type of people that because I like Errol Spence, I dislike Bud Crawford. I like Bud, but his dance card, in my opinion, it's not. It's really not. Like Sean Porter, again, Aaron's assessment is perfect. Sean Porter's good. Take nothing away from Sean Porter. He's a good fighter, but is he that guy? Like, is he an A-level fighter?
Yeah.
I don't think so. He's at best B plus. I don't know about the plus. I would give him more like he's a B fighter. I don't know, B plus. And Sean Porter at that point, I want to say that was Sean Porter's last fight.
Against Terrence?
Yes.
So is it?
Because I think Sean Porter was like, yeah, I'm done after this. So obviously he was on the downside. And not to say that, and I hate getting into these conversations necessarily, because not to say that Sean Porter didn't shoot his joints that night. Sean Porter fought a good fight that night.
He was winning most of it.
Yeah, so I don't want to take nothing away from his performance. Outside of that, man, who else is there that really stands out? For me, no one else really stands out. Again, Errol Spence's performance, I mean, just for out of respect, I'll give him full credit for that. I feel a way about that fight. I just think that he just wasn't, on point the way he should have been on that particular fight for whatever the hell was going on. But that's fine. Let's give him that one. Outside of that, man, like, what else is there? I mean, can you make the case in point to say, like, he fought guys that are really good, but they just were no name?
I don't think so.
I mean, I think the best point you can make is how many fights that he has fought. He's fought a lot. How many fights he got?
40-something.
He's got a lot of fights.
40-some fights. He's had mad fights. He's undefeated. Most of them are knockouts. So
Yes.
But, like, who are the guys you're knocking out?
I feel like at that point, when you're at a point of, like, where Crawford is, like, there really shouldn't be any reason why you're fighting someone who, like, I just completely don't know. Like, especially if you watch boxing, like, I feel like that shouldn't be. Like, it's not that they have to have a big name, but, like, at least, people who are in tune with the sport of boxing, you should be at least fighting someone that they know, and not, like,
I agree. I agree. And I won't say a complete unknown, but it should just kind of be somebody that people are really like juiced. A name that came to mind, and I know Terrence Crawford talks about this a lot, about this being one of his toughest fights. I didn't think so. But he talks about this, and again, I'm totally not impressed with this guy, and that's Gamboa. He talks about Gamboa a lot. Whenever you ask him about who was your toughest fight, he says Gamboa. And I'm like, not to take nothing away from Gamboa, I want to say he had a title, but if that's a fight that I'm not giving him full credit for that. You know what I mean? Like, and I try not to be. I'm not critical of people's dance cards. You just mentioned Andre Ward, and I agree. I mean, Isaiah looked like he was kind of like, I don't know about that, but I do put Andre Ward over him because Andre Ward has a much better dance card. Mm-hmm. He beat Kovalov. Big. That was a big victory. They had, you guys don't remember, but they had the Super 6 tournament where they had Tesla. They had all of these guys. They had all the top 6. I think it was middleweight at the time. Guys fought in a tournament.
Yeah.
That tournament lasted 2 years. They signed up like, okay, these are the top 6 guys. We're gonna all fight each other in a tournament.
Can we run that back? Can we do that again?
That would be great. I don't know how. Now, as I think about it now, like, how did they get them to agree to that? Right. I don't know.
Because people just didn't care. Didn't just care about the money at that point. In time. No shade, but
and they had the top guys. The top 6 guys was in that tournament, and Andre Ward came out of that tournament. That's what really, really, really made him, big. And so, to me, his dance card, 100%. Is better than Bud. I know the 2 of them are tight, but I definitely think Andre Ward again in terms of and it's a shame to me because I just think that sometimes fights have to be careful about who you fight, particularly in terms of your legacy. We're seeing that in my opinion a little bit with and this I kind of have this later on to talk about, but there's some and it's strange. Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather is a joint back and forth. Right. I don't want to see them fight. I don't like what's going on here with the senior citizen stuff. I don't think it's cool. I'm a senior citizen myself, so I'm not making fun of them. I'm in their age group too. But when I say I'm not senior citizen, I'm in their age group, so I'm not making fun of that. I just don't want to see these guys boxing each other.
Right.
But I know. And I love Roy Jones. That's one of my favorite fighters of all time. But he was questioning, Floyd's resume, which I disagree. I think Floyd Mayweather has a very good resume. The only guy, in my opinion, that I've ever seen Floyd Mayweather appear to duck was Manny Pacquiao. And he did end up fighting him, obviously, past the prime. But he fought, a lot of good opponents. Now, Roy Jones, who, again, that's my guy, I felt like Roy Jones didn't fight some people that I really wanted to see him fight. And this speaks to what your point is. It's not sometimes that you think these people can beat the guy, but you kind of like, I want to see you fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that's where we feel kind of like with Crawford. There's a few opponents out there like, you know what? Why don't you do it with Boots? Not that I think Boots can beat Terrence Crawford, but to me, like, why didn't you take that challenge? And there's a few other guys along the way like, all right, why didn't you take those challenges instead of this one? So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. If he should beat Canelo, I don't think, in my opinion, it's going to boost him. As you said, I agree, whoever said he's still not going to be in my top 20 of all time, just because his record, to me, there's no, think about it. This is the first time outside of Errol Spence fight where you were just really juiced to be like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Every other fight he goes into, you're kind of like, yeah, I know we know what's going to happen. This is barely, we know the guy, but
barely. I think that's another thing. My bad, you go.
There you go.
I think for a guy that have over 40 plus fights, with most of them being knockouts, to not be a household name at this point is
that's something to say about that.
That's a factor. He doesn't really have the charisma that's needed to be where he wants to be in the rankings.
There's something to say about that.
I feel like ever since like Floyd Mayweather did what he did, 50-0. It's 50-0, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ever since the 50-0, I feel like all future fighters think the narrative is that like the O like really, really matters to get you like in the books.
Right.
In my opinion, that's what I'm getting from
I agree.
A lot of the fighters, and I'd have to highly disagree with that because like a dude like Lomachenko, for example, like he's got some losses.
Yeah.
And unfortunate, embarrassing loss to Tiafimo.
Yeah.
But I still think he's pretty high up there.
Yes.
Would you say with Crawford?
Do you think
in
he's
terms
higher than Crawford?
In terms of if I did a ranking,
Yeah.
Would,
Like an all time.
I wouldn't put him over Bud Crawford. Only you know why? Because he doesn't have. I think how many fights Lomachenko got? He ain't got 30 fights. So
well, he has a serious amateur record.
That's true. That's true. I mean, he has. That's a good question.
That's amateur way into the all time.
I think he had 900 amateur fights.
Yeah, he has a lot of. He had a lot of amateur fights.
So.
Wow, that's a good question.
That's crazy.
If I had to rank, man, you know what? I'm gonna have to put Terrence Crawford over him, simply because he had more fights and he is undefeated. So in that case, I'm gonna say, when it's close like that and you have an undefeated guy, I guess I would have to give him that the nod there. But that's a really close one. And to speak to Aaron's point, to me, you look even a guy like Ryan Garcia. He done lost a few times in quite frankly embarrassing fashion. But Ryan Garcia, if Ryan Garcia was to come back right now and rip off a good strong 3-year run, he would rise dramatically in that list. If he came back right now, whipped Haney, whipped Tank,
and Shakur,
I'll be like, yo, I'm not gonna front. This dude is better than I would put him higher than Bud Crawford.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I'm not saying it's
that's
gonna
true.
happen.
I think that's true.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. Crawford makes it. He made his career to where it's so easy to pass him. Like
I agree.
If,
That's a good point,
he,
yeah.
all you need to do is really just take
I
out
agree.
just the maybe depending on how top they are, maybe 2 or 3 big dogs in your division.
Yeah.
You take down
Maybe
Haney and
2.
Tank,
It depends on how, like, if they're really like on that status, the 2 of them, that's all you need really. I feel like.
You disagree?
So what about a guy like Usyk, who's
I'm
taking?
gonna get into that in a minute. But
taking
go
down
ahead.
Fury 3
Is he better than all time? Absolutely.
Yes.
No question.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
No question.
Unfortunately, and since you went there, let me jump the line. Let's talk a little bit about that. Usyk and Dubois. Some interesting things, interesting revelations to come out of that fight. Let's talk about both guys. Let's start at the bottom and talk about Dubois knocked out a second time. I mean, look, go ahead.
He started off that first round. I was like, okay, this might be a good fight because he came out booming. I mean, Dubois' power is something to not be matched with.
Is it? I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, Dubois got good power. He had good power. He was beating up on. He was trying to beat up on Usyk, trying to not let him get in close. But the problem with heavyweights, when you do that, they get tired by the 3rd, 4th round, and then Usyk's a freak of nature, man. That dude.
He just knows how to fight.
He's a monster. He knows how to fight, and it was all over from the first good shot that he landed on him late in that round.
I ain't gonna lie. Real talk. Before we get into more of this, the heavyweight division, you guys got to get your stuff together, man. I mean, Usyk is he's a really good fighter, but I mean, come on. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's obviously better than everybody in the heavyweight division.
Of course,
But the top dogs are at least 6 foot. The top dogs in the heavyweight division. This dude Usyk,
He's not that tall.
5.
No, he's 6 foot. He's big.
Yeah.
He's 6 feet.
Yeah, he's a small 6
I think
footer.
he's 6 foot.
He's a
6 foot
small
flat.
6
He's
footer.
small. He's not tall. Like I said, he's about 6
And
feet.
his wingspan not that
Yeah,
not that
he's
much
not
either.
big. He's not
But
big in
you
size.
guys, and let's not mention he's up there in age,
Yes.
and you guys just let him beat up on you for not even 12.
Yeah.
He's
You
6'3".
lucky. You lucky.
He is 6'3".
He's 6'3".
Yeah, he looks small for 6'3".
He looks
Because everybody else in the heavyweight
It's
division
much
is like
bigger.
6'6"
These
plus.
guys are like 6'8", and it's just like
Yeah.
you're just letting the dude beat up on you.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, interesting because it's funny. Aaron's is saying that. Aaron is on fire today. Lennox Lewis was talking about that, and Lennox was like, listen, I respect Usyk, but he's just like, my God, I wish I was still boxing today. He was like, yo, I would do. He was like, and he had that, like what Aaron is saying. He's kind of, and he was like, enough respect, as Lennox says, enough respect. He's a really good boxer, but he was like, yo, for me, I don't see why these guys are having trouble beating him. Like, he's like, it's clear to me what needs to be done to beat this dude. I'm not understanding why, but that speaks to what Aaron is saying, and that, let's be honest, it seems like the talent level out here is just not, these guys just can't
technical
do.
genius.
Oh, how bad is Dubois in your opinion? I mean, as they started
I
it
don't
off.
think he's that bad.
I don't
get
think
me
he's that
wrong,
bad
his
either.
Win against Anthony Joshua definitely made people think like, yo, he's the next big thing in the heavyweight division. But
I thought he was
no
better.
offense,
Yeah.
it's Anthony Joshua.
Anthony
Joshua
Is Anthony Joshua that bad?
is completely out of his
Joshua is
prime.
coming on his downfall. I can tell you
I
that.
definitely think he's on his downfall. I don't think Anthony
But
Joshua
in my
can make
opinion,
another title run.
I'm not too fond of Dubois.
Why?
I don't think he's that good.
Yeah,
I don't think he's that good either.
Because, I mean,
he's that way. Yeah.
It's like Well, he beat Anthony Joshua. In my personal opinion, I think Big Baby honestly is better than DeBall.
Okay, no.
Yeah, I think Big Baby. Listen, he got.
Did Big Baby just get knocked out?
He got worked by what's his name?
Yeah, our guy.
I can't do work.
Yeah, African man.
Bacoli?
Yeah. He got worked by Bacoli.
He just got beat up.
But Bacoli wipes the map with
Dubois?
well, the way he's been fighting.
I don't know about that.
In shape Bacoli
Yes.
beats.
If Bacoli is in
Beats
shape,
Dubois?
Yeah.
I think he beats Dubois.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But in my personal opinion, I think Big Baby
Beats Dubois?
no.
No.
Yeah, I think he's a better
I don't
boxer.
think
I
so.
think he's better than Dubois.
I can't see it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
just putting it out there.
Dubois
Like,
beats both those guys.
No.
I definitely do.
You think he beats Bacoli?
I think he can beat Bacoli.
I don't think he beats Bacoli.
I think
It's hard to say because he did just lose.
I need to watch that fight that he won.
Bacoli? He
Bacoli's
was
fight.
really good.
I need to rewatch that fight because
Nah,
y'all
that-
saying that in my head, I'm like, what?
He worked Big Baby. I ain't
He
gonna lie.
worked him. He was in shape.
He worked him.
He's a big dude that also can box.
He is.
And he knows what the hell he's doing in there. And but this again speaks to, and it makes us eat our words just a little bit, because this speaks to the fact that last when he lost to
Joseph Parker.
Joseph Parker, he knew. Let's be honest.
That was the
He
last
frankly knew he was going to lose the fight because he wasn't in shape.
at all.
The Sheik called him like, "Yo, I got 500,000." I guess he was like, "I'm going to take it," and he took the 500,000. But he knew he was not going. Let's be honest. I mean, don't get me wrong. If he climbed in there, I'm sure he felt like maybe I can get it. But the likelihood of him winning that fight was. But so now, this is what I'm saying. Now this will speak to what Aaron is saying. How much do you take away from him from that loss?
Well, because he didn't fight again after that. And
He didn't look that great. No, I think he drew. He drew. Yeah, he drew.
Yeah, he did fight
He
again.
drew.
He drew.
I forgot who he fought.
But he did fight again.
He fought again. Because he was scheduled to. That fight he was already scheduled to fight.
Oh,
Right, and then he subbed in.
And then he subbed in for this one. And then when he fought that one, it was a draw. I forget who he fought.
I don't remember.
But it was a draw. We had to go
we
back.
watch that?
We watched the fight. Yeah, he didn't look good. Well, I mean, we was very disappointed because that was the night we was really looking. It was I forget who was the main event, but we was looking forward to that fight more than the main event. And he disappointed us. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I don't remember.
Remember, we was really looking forward to that fight, and it didn't go well. He didn't look. I don't know what's going on with him. But that's again, the Bar's an interesting guy. And let me put this on the table. A lot of the British fans are pissed off. A lot of the British boxing community is pissed off because they're claiming, and this is a big issue in sports in general, and certainly in boxing, they're claiming that the problem with the Bar is his dad. Because what's coming out about it, I guess we didn't talk about this. What's coming out is that I guess I saved it for here. They're saying that the night before, I guess his father is involved.
Sick fight?
Yes.
Okay.
His father is involved with the camp, but that's not his trainer. The night before the fight, apparently, this is again hearsay. This is coming from sources inside boxing trainers that again are very upset because they like Daniel and they're like, "Yo, this is ridiculous, rubbish." They were like, the night before, the father was insisting on throwing an all-night party in which Daniel had to participate.
Are you serious?
This is what they're saying, and this is why they're really pissed because they're like, "Yo, this guy worked very hard for the training camp. Why would his dad?" Again, it sounds so bizarre, like that can't be true, but I'm hearing this from multiple sources. And then the day of the fight, again, they're claiming this is again outrageous claims. They're claiming that the dad was insisting that the whole crew, which was not all Daniel's people, traveled together to go over to the fight. The time was getting tight, and Daniel was like, "I have to go." He walks to the stadium instead of going in the caravan in the cars because the dad was insisting on we got to wait for everybody to come downstairs. They're saying that this was a factor. I don't know.
Listen.
So that could be a factor. I don't know.
Listen, if that is true, Daniel Dubois is a grown man. You can sit there like, "Dad, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm not
going to bed.
I'm going to bed."
Yeah.
All right, and if your dad doesn't respect that, well, guess what? He's not the one fighting against in front of millions of people for the greatest championship in the division.
Yeah, because not only is it just the fighting thing, it's also kind of a safety thing as well. Because I hope he didn't drink at the party or do anything stupid.
But just him being up
But
and not
yeah,
getting his rest.
You're not on your game. You're honestly lucky it didn't go worse than it did. If it's true, and it did go pretty bad for you.
Yeah.
So,
bad.
but either way, I don't think that. I think if those are true, I still think that even if all that didn't happen, I still think he would have lost.
I definitely think he still would have lost, but like,
agree with that.
I don't want
too,
anybody to use that as an
I
excuse
agree with
because
that
Daniel's
too,
a
yeah.
grown man
Yeah, I
and
agree
could
with
tell
that too.
his dad saying, "I'm not doing that."
I agree with that too, and especially coming off of the way the first fight went. Frankly, it was kind of the same. Usyk just knows he can outbox Daniel. That's just the bottom line. So I agree with you. I don't really think that was as messed up that it happened, but I don't really think that even if it is true, I can't say like, you know what, I definitely think that was a factor in the fight. So with that being said, let's address Usyk. You know, is there anybody out there that you guys think that you guys can see that can beat Usyk?
No. I mean, I think him versus Joseph Parker is the next big
No,
fight.
he can't. Joseph Parker.
But
Okay, anyway.
but listen, I didn't finish. I think him versus Joseph Parker is going to be the next big fight because you know everybody's been hyping that up, and Joseph Parker's been on a nice little win streak lately. But he will never be able to take him down.
I mean,
Deontay Wilder's coming back to the ring, but he's never
Didn't
going to
look
be able
good.
to do it.
In my opinion, you know, he didn't look good. I thought he didn't look good in that fight.
heavyweight
Beyonce?
division to me.
Oh, he fought already.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't watch the fight.
Heavyweight division is a little washed right now. You know, no new talent. I mean, Anthony Joshua. Maybe if he can get back on board, maybe in a slight chance. You know, maybe.
I hate to say it because he is my favorite heavyweight out of these guys, but that's over. Let's be honest. You know,
But
Anthony Joshua?
it's kind of just
Yeah,
like
he's done.
Yeah, he's done.
it's so. I don't understand what went wrong because
I don't
it's
know.
like
Great
the
question.
last time he fought good was against Ngannou.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
everybody.
then I was watching some of his fights, and the dude looked spectacular.
I
I mean,
agree.
yeah, he was moving
I
around
agree.
the ring,
Great
perfectly,
combinations.
jabbing
phenomenal.
combinations.
Yeah.
I agree. I
Weave.
agree. And he
It's
just
just-
stopped doing that
I
after
mean,
the Ruiz fight.
Like,
And then he
just
did
that-
it again during the Ngannou fight, and then just I don't know what happened in the Dubois fight.
I mean, I understand confidence can be a thing, but
Yeah.
there's no way the excuse is that Andy Ruiz just completely sidetracked your career. I mean that can't be.
Yeah, I agree.
That can't be.
I'm gonna say, and that's no disrespect to Andy Reid.
No, yeah.
I mean Andy Ruiz because Andy Ruiz can fight.
He's a great fighter.
He is a good fighter.
But that
it's
should have
not-
been a wash.
But it's not like this guy got completely. He got stopped. But
Yeah, I agree.
It's not like he got completely
I
out
agree.
cold.
Like if I was in Anthony Joshua's corner after that fight, I'd be like, yo,
Calm down.
this is what's happening. You know, we wasn't ready. This dude, we slept on Fat Boy, and you know. He did his thing. You know, it's true. You know, Ruiz is a big dude. I can see people be like, yo, this dude is garbage. Look how out but he can fight. If you sleep on him,
He's
that
underrated,
dude, he's gonna
underrated.
beat you. And so that's what I would have told him. Like, then don't worry about it. What we gotta do is get in shape. We know what to do. But he looked completely shook in the rematch. And he's quite frankly looked shook ever since that fight, in my opinion. Even the fights no.
He lost a series.
Yeah, he lost again. You can't
I
beat. You
forgot
could beat
about
him. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Anthony Joshua's downfall needs to be studied, man.
And he dropped Ruiz that first
He
fight
did.
too.
He did.
He
He
did.
was fighting a good fight.
He did.
But the minute Anthony Joshua gets clipped with a good shot, you might as well just call the fight a wrap because he'll never
It's
recover.
over. It's over. It's
and
over.
he won't. And he's gonna
It's
go
over.
down four more
over.
times in the same round.
And I would say mentally, I think that's a mental thing. And that once he gets clipped with a shot, it's almost like you see him saying like, "Oh, here I go. That's it. I'm gonna get knocked out." He just kind of feel like that's the way he feels, and that happens, I think, to a lot of times fighters who, you know, until you get to that point, they be getting hit with the same shots. Like, yo, I seen this dude get hit like that before, but in your mind, you're like, oh, please, whatever. But then
Right.
when you get stretched, then you be like, yo, you know what? That could happen again. I can get stretched. So I do think that that's the case, and this is interesting. I mean, Usyk, I just don't see any, unless it's somebody hopefully coming up. But I just don't see anybody being able to beat Usyk. Now, the one thing about Usyk, because he's a smaller heavyweight, but I don't even see anybody on the horizon that can do it. Sometimes you have a guy like, I remember when he also was a Ruiz, John Ruiz. He was a heavyweight, and he really wasn't that good. but the division was a little weak at the time. Evander Holyfield was really on the tail end. He was going out. He beat Evander to take the titles. He just clearly was not a better fighter than Evander Holyfield. But Evander just was at the tail end of his career. He couldn't muster up enough what he needed to do. And John Ruiz was such a sloppy fighter. All he would do, he was a big guy. And he would kind of throw punches and just lean on Evander. And Evander was a small heavyweight. He just couldn't really solve that problem. He couldn't move around the ring like he wanted to. And at that time, Roy Jones was still in the prime of his career. And Roy Jones was fighting at light heavyweight. And again, John Ruiz was not a big heavyweight. But again, Holyfield was a very small heavyweight. And so Roy Jones went up from light heavyweight to heavyweight. He added that weight and he beat John Ruiz. I just don't even see anybody on the horizon in the light. Well, I tell you what. Who could possibly do it?
No.
But I think who I'm gonna say?
I don't know. It's just no.
And I think they asked him about it. He was kind of like, nah. I actually think my guy, Benavidez, can do it.
What?
Yeah, I think Benavidez. Because Benavidez is, first of all, Benavidez is a little fat kid. If you ever seen him, he's a fat kid that he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, I know. I seen him.
Down though.
So he could easily be 200 pounds. If you see his body, you could tell he used to be fat. You know what I mean? You could tell. So if he was to, he had to do it properly. I'm not suggesting you just go eat,
right.
But I think he can put the weight on. He has the skill set.
That guy can't even beat Canelo. You talking about he gonna beat Usyk?
You don't think Benavidez beats Canelo?
Huh? You think Benavidez beats Canelo?
What? You don't? You think?
Let me explain to you. He's been rocking.
Let me write this down.
He's been rocking with the theory that Benavidez would absolutely whoop Canelo.
Yo, you and Matt need to talk, bro, cause y'all and Benavidez be bugging.
Let me tell you something right now. This show is going in a different direction.
They got a whole list.
Benavidez beats Canelo.
No.
Benavidez, and this is my man, but Benavidez beats. Well, I'll start low. Benavidez beats Better Beef.
That's a good fight.
I'll stop.
That's a great fight.
Hold on, let me think.
Better Beef powers.
Now wait a minute. Are you gonna say because this?
Yeah, this was next.
Bivol?
Yeah, he beats Bivol.
Absolutely not.
Bivol's my man. That's my guy. Bivol's definitely one of my favorite fighters.
Matter of fact, let's just run the gauntlet here. We're running the gauntlet.
Oh, we doing the big six?
So, stage 1 is Better Beef. And
I'd say he get past.
He beats.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I'd say mid to high.
But I also wouldn't be shocked if he gets knocked out.
Who?
Benavidez.
No, because let me
Better
explain
Beef power is different, man.
Yes, but let me explain to you. Once he thinks or knows that he's got you, he's gonna start wailing like.
Who? Better Beef?
Benavidez. He's going to.
He ain't gonna do that against Better Beef though.
He's gonna start.
I understand what you're saying.
And let me explain something to you.
Mm-hmm.
If Better Beef gets a slither amount,
he ain't gonna get it
of a room, slither of a room, and clips Better, he's out cold.
Okay, of course.
But I will give you that one.
Mid-high
Okay.
difficulty.
I'll give you that.
Oh no, and I'll just to jump in on that. Of course, that's not inaccurate. Better Beef punches hard enough that can't nobody sustain. Good 2 or 3 good shots from him. No question.
Oh, yeah, no,
but the bottom line, Benavidez is smart enough to know this dude's the truth with his punching power. So he ain't gonna. I agree with you. Sometimes Benavidez, when he think he got you, because he got clipped a few times, because once he think he got you, he will go in. But I don't see him doing that against Better Beef. But go ahead.
Next
you said was Bivol.
I think he beats
Bivol will outbox Benavidez.
How tall is Benavidez?
Benavidez is kind of tall.
Benavidez is tall.
6 foot.
He's over 6 feet.
Well over 6 feet.
How tall is Bivol?
Probably about 6 feet. And Better Beef is short. He's a short dude.
Bivol, you mean?
Benavidez is 6'2".
Better Beef is short.
Yeah, I know Better Beef short. Yeah.
Bivol's taller than Better Beef.
Oh yeah.
Benavidez is 6'2", Bivol's 6 foot.
Yes, about what I thought. He beats him. I'm telling you.
No, Bivol.
He beats him.
And
I love Bivol. Trust me. But I think he beats him.
Look, okay, but those are 2 great boxers.
Yep.
But at the end of the day,
The power.
I don't think you can come to a conclusion without the power, and I think that obviously goes to Benavidez.
Benavidez. Yes. So Benavidez beats Bivol.
Bivol and Benavidez.
But what I'm saying
the
is,
strongest chins.
But what I'm saying is,
That's true.
the likelihood of that actually going, did someone get knocked out? To me,
Oh, that's not going to be a
almost
knockout.
0% chance.
Yeah, I agree.
And if it goes
12,
10,
if it goes 12,
12.
I can't allow anybody to definitively say that this dude's gonna get that box.
Who? Benavidez or Bivol?
Either or.
Oh, either or. Okay.
I can't.
You're saying that. You're saying that.
It's the top.
Oh, I mean, look.
I
look,
can't let
look.
anybody definitively
Of course,
say that.
of course. When you got two fighters of this ilk, they're that good. Of course, I'm not sitting here saying Benavidez would definitely destroy Bivol. No, that's going to be a very close fight.
Saying it pretty confident.
But no, I would pick Benavidez to beat Bivol. I think he beats all of those guys at 168 pounds. No problem. No problem. If Crawford was to beat Canelo,
if Crawford beats Canelo, I will come on the show. I will look straight in the camera and I will say that Benavidez can beat Canelo. If Crawford manages to beat Canelo,
you said what?
I will look dead in the camera and say that Benavidez. Too many B's.
Yes, yeah.
Benavidez can beat Canelo Alvarez.
Oh, okay.
No way.
But right now you don't feel that?
Absolutely not.
Y'all bugging.
Absolutely.
Y'all out of control.
You lost your mind.
Especially, I feel like.
But why would you? I mean,
but especially because I feel like he definitely learned from that loss to Bivol.
Who, Canelo? Mm-hmm. What he gonna do? He can't use the. All right. Can Canelo Alvarez outbox Benavidez?
No.
Okay. Is Canelo Alvarez stronger?
Yes.
No, he's
What is
stronger
what
than
are you
Benavidez.
talking about,
30-pound
man?
weight
What are you
difference.
talking about?
No. I'm not talking about Brud.
We're talking about Canelo and Benavidez.
Benavidez.
Yes. Yeah.
Benavidez is a 168-pound fighter.
They're all in the same division?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Benavidez is talking about going up to 180, which he can. Like I said, Benavidez, and I mean that in a good way.
No way.
He's a fat kid. Benavidez can fight at 200 pounds tomorrow if he wanted to. Believe me,
Probably could.
he could.
Probably
If Benavidez, I give him credit. Trust me. If you look at his body, you could tell like he has a fat dude's body. Like I trimmed down. Like if that dude just be like I don't really watch what I eat. Trust me, he would be fat. But he clearly does the work. So he's bigger. Weight is not a factor in terms of Canelo being stronger than Benavidez or bigger. Benavidez is bigger than Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion.
Bigger, not stronger.
Not stronger. Not at all.
Bigger, not stronger.
No
He's
way.
bigger, not stronger.
All right.
If you had to put your money in who gets knocked out, you saying Canelo get knocked out?
He can knock. You say he cannot knock Canelo Alvarez out?
I'm saying he could. He won't.
Oh.
He wouldn't. I'd have my money on Canelo knocking Benavidez out.
Nah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nah. So let's get this going. Canelo, get this win so we can see. So does anybody think that if Crawford should win, would anybody be interested in seeing Crawford versus, which I think he said he wouldn't do that. I think Crawford was like, nah.
Crawford don't like to fight.
See, I dump on Benavidez, but Crawford don't want that.
I think he said that. He said, I believe they asked him about that, and he was like, yeah, nah.
If he not gonna fight Boots, he definitely no part of Benavidez.
I kind of understand him not wanting to fight Boots though.
Why?
Why?
Did you not hear his reason?
No.
Nah, he's like it's a lose-lose situation for him. Because if he loses, everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, he sucks, this and that. But if he wins, it's like, yo, Boots is too young, he's not fully developed.
Well, that's not. You know what? He's being a hypocrite. Go ahead.
Nobody would say that. And nobody would say either or. Nobody would say that Terrence that he sucks because he lost to Boots. Because we already know that Boots is a good fighter. He already has a good record.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's a household name. We know him. He's good.
And he's being a hypocrite. And you're right. He did say that. Mm-hmm. But he's being a hypocrite because he wanted Canelo to take the fight, and Canelo was in the same position. Honestly, that's why Canelo was like, I really didn't want to take this fight because Canelo's in the same spot. Technically, he's in a no-win situation. Canelo goes in there and does what we're thinking, like he's just too big. He goes in there and the fight looks that way. He's not going to get any credit for beating
this
Crawford.
guy jumped up 3
this guy, of course, you should have knocked him out. He's not getting any credit for that. And if he lose, oh my God. Oh boy.
Canelo better just
Yo,
call it right
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, if Canelo Alvarez loses this match,
Right. Particularly
he-
how he loses is important too.
if he gets knocked out,
If he gets knocked out,
he
that's
will
going to
be
be bad.
erased from anybody's
Correct.
top 50.
Correct.
After
Correct.
all he's done, he will be absolutely
totally agree.
scratched.
And you know what?
from that list.
Canelo's an interesting dude because I was thinking about that today, and we're running short. But where is Canelo Alvarez on your all-time list?
He's up there.
Again, I would say higher than Crawford, but lower.
Well,
than
he'd be.
Yeah, he's definitely higher
He'd
than
be
Crawford.
way higher than
but
Crawford.
definitely higher than
lower than again. I use Andre Ward as an example.
Lower than Ward?
Yeah,
No
I put
way.
him lower than Ward.
I put him lower than Ward.
Really?
Yeah, I put him lower than Ward. Yeah, I mean Ward was a really good
I love
fighter.
Ward.
He's a really good fighter.
But we're talking about career.
Yeah, all time.
The Super Six thing, you guys,
That's
like I said,
all it
that's
takes.
huge. No, and he beat Kovalov. He beat Kovalov, and that was good. That was a good fell in his cap. And if there was any doubt about the first one, he fought him again and beat him. So to me, I give Andre Ward a great deal of credit. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, Andre Ward just wasn't a household name. I'm not really sure why that happened with him in terms of him
He
just
only
being.
got like 20-some fights.
Yeah, he doesn't have a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
fights, so he just really wasn't a household name like that. But I'm with Aaron on that one. Andre Ward is aces with me. And Canelo's going to be interesting because at the same time, you got to give the guy credit because his dance card is actually really good.
Ward?
Yeah, Canelo.
Got
No, Canelo has a phenomenal,
Yeah, he's got
phenomenal card.
he's fought some really good opponents.
Did he fight Cotto?
Yes.
Canelo?
Yeah.
Yes.
He fought Cotto?
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
he fought Canelo. Cotto. Cotto was near the end of his career, but he fought a lot of guys.
Triple G
He
three
fought
times.
Triple
That
G
was
3 times. He
great
did
trilogy.
fight. He fought Shane.
Mosley?
Yeah, he fought Shane Mosley.
I feel
so
like he has a good.
He has a phenomenal
he
track record.
has.
I would say phenomenal, but he has a good.
He has a good.
Definitely 10 times better than Buddy.
Yeah, he's not a guy that you could be like, I really want to see him fight this guy, and he never did. I can't say that about him.
I
And
honestly
people be
think
saying,
the trilogy with Triple G, honestly, just
It's probably one of the best
skyrocketed
trilogies of all
yeah, I mean they both went at it, and you just didn't know who would win those fights. And look, I give him credit even for the ones that he took and didn't win. He fought Bivol. Let's not forget that. He lost, but you know what? He didn't get embarrassed. But he did. He fought him, so give him a lot of credit for that. His dance card, frankly, as I'm thinking about it right now, is one of the best modern day fighters dance cards. He's really has some excellent opponents. Let's move through. Let's talk a little bit about, or I touched a little bit on this earlier. It's kind of like again the senior tour situation. Manny Pacquiao just fought Mario Barrios. What do you guys think about that? What do you think? I mean, I just heard today that Manny Pacquiao is targeting a December return for another fight. Do we think that he looks good enough to fight again?
Absolutely.
Was it just bad Mario Barrios, or what's the situation?
Yeah.
Listen, Manny, if Mario Barrios, I feel like if he wanted to really lay that dude out that night, he would have got laid out. Honestly, I think Barrios, he just had an embarrassingly bad night. He actually made the guy Pacquiao look pretty decent. And not to knock on him saying he's not in shape. He's in shape.
Yes,
But I just don't want to see him get back in the ring again because,
it's a knockout.
I don't know the guy, but it's scary,
Yeah, it's a knockout waiting to happen.
He got a young talented fighter, and then you got Manny Pacquiao who was retired for. He's in the Hall of Fame, matter of fact.
Right, we
Just
saw
put it
that.
that way.
Just
The dude is in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
and he's fighting modern day talent.
Yeah, he looks like a knockout waiting to happen.
Right.
Although again, let's give him credit. I'm not saying he looked good. You know what I mean? For his age, I'm trying to say.
Okay.
He didn't look terrible.
Yeah.
Frankly, Mario Barrios should have took him out of there. Though, let's be honest. You know what I mean? He just didn't. He. There's a reason why they picked him. I just think, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm gonna make another quick senior tour stop and say, does anybody have any interest in seeing? And again, I got into this on social media. It's just embarrassing that people even talking about this stuff. With Clarissa Shields and Layla Ali. It's not a boxing match. In my opinion, this stuff is ridiculous.
Stable.
This lady's 47 years old. She hasn't fought in 20 years. I'm not sure why we're talking about that being a competitive fight.
Like Clarissa Shields.
Yeah, correct. And Clarissa Shields will lay her out.
You're doing too much.
And for no other reason, and I know not to take nothing away from Clarissa Shields, but for no other reason that, again, the lady's 47 years old and has not boxed in 20 years. So, I mean, I don't blame Clarissa for, because Layla's out there running her mouth and talking too. So, you have to address it. But I kind of blame the fans more than anything. That's why I got in trouble on social media, because I'm like, what are we doing? Like, why would anybody even be talking about this like this is a competitive matchup? Like, that's not even a competitive matchup. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think the only fight Manny should be worried about in this point in time, the only fight I would like to see is him versus Mayweather again. I feel like that's the only thing. And then just be done with it.
I guess so. And even then, I don't want to see that, because whoever loses, to me, it takes away from
their actual boxing.
It does. It does. True. Because it's kind of like, if Floyd was to go in there and lose it now, and I look, I've always been rooting for Floyd to lose. So I'm gonna keep it 100. I've lost thousands of dollars going down to Las Vegas to see Floyd Mayweather lose, and the damn guy won every time. But I just wouldn't like to see him lose like that. I wouldn't like to see him come back and at this age he loses to Manny Pacquiao. I don't want to see nothing like that. So these guys just need to leave that stuff alone.
I think, to speak on both parts, Manny didn't look good, but Barrios just looked worse. Mm-hmm. I think he fought Manny with too much respect, because the rounds where the corner was like, "Yeah, what are you doing? You need to get some points on the board, man. You're losing." There was nothing Manny could do. I mean, Barrios was just keeping him away. Manny kept coming in and getting hit with a shot. There's nothing he could do. But then 2 rounds later, Manny's hit him with a flurry of shots, and the crowd acting like Barrios just got knocked down. So I think, obviously, having that type of fight, if you draw with the champion, you're obviously in your head like, "Hey, I can still do it." Stay home, please.
I think so. I think
And for Clarissa Shields, you are beating up your entire division, modern day. There's no reason to drag a 50-year-old Layla Ali back into the ring to fight her. There's no reason.
It's too much.
I know she's talking smack, but everybody talks smack. You don't see LeBron James trying to one-on-one Stephen A. because he's talking about Bronny. Stop. Yeah. Clarissa, please.
Yeah. What about, let's get a quick round in on, that 140-pound division. We still trying to figure out what's going on with Devin Haney, Tank, Ryan Garcia. It's not looking good. I mean, Tank, obviously, I feel bad for the kid. He got in trouble with 7. He got in trouble. I guess we just have to kind of see what's going to happen with Tank and see what he wants to do. There's some rumblings that, believe it or not, that kind of segues, that they're going to line him up with Manny Pacquiao. Tank? I've heard that 3 or 4 times this week, yes. So, I don't know. I mean, it sounds bizarre, but I've heard that a couple of times this week that they were trying to line him up with. I just hope, Tank first and foremost just kind of decides and get himself together as what he wants to do. I think Devin has a fight coming up.
He does. Something in November.
Yeah. Something in November.
It's a big card that
it's a big card that night.
Better be of his fighting too.
Yes.
Better be his fight?
Yes.
I don't know.
He just moved on. He's pissed off because he doesn't like what happened with Bivol. So he's like, I'm just going to move on. And then Bivol apparently is getting back surgery. So I guess he's going to be out for a little while.
6 to 8 months.
It's 6 to 8 months, so he's going to be out for a little while, probably heading into next year. Ryan Garcia, I don't know what's happening with him. Right, I think he also had surgery. We don't know. Shakur Stevenson just had a really good performance a couple of weeks back. A little short on time. We'll get to that one next time. But this was
love to see that Big 6 tournament with that division.
They need to do that. That would be great. That would be great.
Who did Ryan just lose to? Rolly can be in it.
I agree.
Everybody. Devin, Shakur.
Even Teofimo. Teofimo's going to be at. Teofimo got announced this week.
You wouldn't put Teofimo in that Big 6 tournament?
I'd replace Teofimo with.
Lomo's retiring.
Not Lomo. What do you think about Roche?
Who?
No.
No, he
inconclusive. But no. But that's not to say anything bad. Inconclusive is just that I can't put a grade down yet. He didn't complete the test. You know what I mean? I can't put a grade down. He handed in one homework assignment. It was pretty good, but I'm not sure whose paper he was looking at. So I need to get another assignment from him first. But
I think I think him. If Tank really just if he figures stuff out and
I think he beats Roach.
Wants to and he wants to box. But I think that should really be the first thing that Tank does if he decides to box again. That should be the.
He
first,
has to. He has to.
That matter of fact, that needs to be his first order of business.
He has
Absolutely.
to. Absolutely.
And I'm not talking decision.
Yeah.
Because
he gotta finish this guy.
We know exactly who Gervonta Tank Davis is.
Yeah, I agree.
He needs to take this guy out.
And he can do it.
Or less.
He could do it. He could do it.
And he could, yeah.
He could do it. I mean, it's just I don't know again what's going on with him. They talked about Manny Pacquiao, and I'm not going to get into this, but they talked about Jake Paul. I don't know what's going on with this
Rising
guy.
star.
Yeah. So speaking of that, we're gonna stop it here. We wanted to go over some rising stars, but I'm gonna tease that for our next episode. We're gonna finish up with that because that's some good points. I want to get into Roach. I want to get into Shakur Stevenson. I want to talk a little bit about that. Even Raleigh. That's a hot division. A lot going on there. A lot going on. But we're gonna touch on. We're gonna touch also on some rising stars coming up. We wanted to really kind of highlight that. That's always a good thing. We got young Joseph Brown. We're going to highlight him. He's fighting under Mayweather Promotions. He just had an impressive victory a few weeks back. So we'll talk a little bit more about him. We got Dynamite David Lopez. This kid is the truth. Tremendous power, tremendous skill level. Also really, really, really good. And we also got Ephraim Smith, who also is dynamite power. He does his thing. He gets it done. So, and then we're also gonna branch off into some of the other sports. In the NBA, we got young Cooper Flag coming up. What do we think about him getting to the NBA? We could dig even deeper into, the rising stars. You got guys like the Boozer Twins. We'll talk a little bit about them. We got young Carmelo Anthony coming out.
Oh yeah, this college season. Oh.
So we're interested in that. A lot of high school kids coming out. What's the boy who just had the accident?
Oh, what's his name, Aaron?
Elijah
Arenas.
Yeah, Gil Arenas' son coming out.
ACL injury too.
Oh, I think he got hurt again. Yeah, God bless him. Hopefully he heals up. But I think he got hurt again. Yeah, it's a bad one, right? So he might be out for the season. But another rising star. So we definitely want to talk about those young fighters, those young basketball players coming up. We got a lot more to cover, but we ran out of time today. But we'll see you right here again.
Like and subscribe. I forgot.